Oh god. What's going on, guys? Chris here. Welcome back to a brand new Lego City and Fortnite video, part 3 of Revamped, here on the channel. Tell you that recorded this 2 times before with the mic not working for whatever reason. But I figured it out, boys. We're back. So, welcome back. This is the first video on the PS5. I recently upgraded. The last video on the PS4 was the Batman challenge, which I definitely recommend checking out. It's a bit poetic as the first video I came back to gaming with was the Batman challenge, and the last video on the PS4 is the fully recorded on the PS4 is the Batman challenge for Chapter 5, or this year's lovely season. But yeah, I created something cool. It's a little small build for today's video. It's really nice, bro. I like it for what it is, and let's just go in and talk about it, okay? Let's just talk about it. It's all nice. It's okay. It's great. It's great. Okay, it's great. It's nice. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Everything you could also describe about Lego City in Fortnite video. So first things first. We have the Polar Peaks Castle back for the third time in the series. Hooray! If you know, I am a big fan of Polar Peak. It's one of my favorite POIs from Chapter 1. And I decided to bring it back again. And I guess the story context for why this is here is I'm just guessing Ice King just lost his home one day. He was like strolling by, and Sergeant Winter, who owns this place, just said, "Yeah, you can stay with us. We're gonna build you a new castle because I'm Santa Claus or whatever." But going over here, you have some other buildings too, which the overall concept for this build, in general, was an idea to make kind of like a Winterfest village, and I'm very happy with it. And also something very cool, if you haven't watched the tour video of the Season 1 world, is I did bring up a scrapped idea for a video. Which, when I first started doing Lego City Fortnite, the idea was kind of making builds based upon each building set in the I was currently in Lego Fortnite. I kind of stopped that as we started getting more stuff, which yeah, we got tons of stuff now. However, it's kind of cool because the scrapped episode was a campsite area that was mainly focused on the log cabin pieces, and you can say this build is kind of like basically like a back to roots Lego City Fortnite video, but also does acknowledge the log cabin builds, which we haven't really done before in this series. The festival piece here is also the only prefab that I use. I play festival a lot in my free time, and since this was in the Lego Pass, I wanted to check it out. I did add some slight things to this. They kind of make it different from the actual build. I had Durburger. I recently got that set as a gift, which is wonderful. A little small fun build that I actually really like it. It's cool. It's really nice. The only difference between this and the actual build from that I can actually see from here is that you have this thing here, which normally at the top of this. No, that's actually a different color, yeah. And the bomb here is using cone pieces. Very intriguing. So over here we have these like lights, which you can actually move. If you go this way, yeah, you can move them, which is pretty cool. Basically like a little like production thing. So if you want to throw the lights to say, I don't know, like you want to throw it this way, then you can throw it this way if you want to. It's a bit difficult to move around, but you can do that. But since we mentioned Polar Peak, we'll just start with there because we have a few things to get to. So over here we got the main lovely castle of Polar Peak all the way right here, which is a bit different from the other interpretations that we've done before. This time around, I have actually side rails right here, and the build has this little second balcony, which I don't know if any other version has had that we made so far. But also we have this little area here, which is pretty nice. And of course, one of the major changes is that you cannot enter from up here, like you normally can. But I kind of want to make it different from the other versions that we've done before, so I think that's a good way. And here you got a bunch of bookshelves, and you got the Ice King's new throne, which is lovely. You gotta just sit here, you gotta relax, you gotta do all these cool stuff. You got Power Strip referencing Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 8. No, Season 7? No, 8. Season 8. We're going mad here, man. We're going mad here. And also something cool I want to point out is they add Batman. They added a Lego Batman to Fortnite. This is so cool. One of the first ever Lego games I played was Lego Batman. So having a version of him in the game is pretty cool. Also, I collect a lot of Lego Batman, so yeah, that's cool. But yeah, you have a lot of night stuff that was in the Ice King area in the original part 4 of Lego City Fortnite. So you have a bunch of the same theming going around. And one of the main things I wanted to take with this was based on the main theme of the Polar Peak Castle from Chapter 1, Season 7, where Ice King had a lot of bookshelves, mystical stuff, and bookshelves. What else to say? He also had like a little tomato pit thing for whatever reason. That was kind of weird. But over here, you got more bookshelves. You got a little bed area and a little like Winterfest painting, which you're gonna see a lot. I try to use a lot of the pieces for Winterfest that are in the pass, just so I can use them in the build. I like just incorporating new things and stuff. But of course, I actually really like this room. You got like this little science area over here, which is pretty nice, pretty swag. And then up here, you just have give me a second. Fish! And there I'm llama floating. How to do it? One of the recurring Easter eggs in the original series is back once again to haunt me, with sunglasses. You know, I started to realize that these recurring gags just keep on appearing throughout each episode of the series. For last episode, we had the green chair, and now we have like these two. Exactly, the glasses have been showing up this whole entire series. I'm being real about that. It's just in the background. I might not acknowledge it in every episode, but it's there. It's there. But but up here you just have a bunch of storage stuff. Which I had these new chests, which really fit Ice King because it has like this icy feel, which is pretty slick. Swick. What's the freaking swick? Sick. God, I'm loving this. But over here is basically where I plop a lot of the stuff that I put when I'm building. For example, I think there's a good example of this. Where is it? Yeah, over here. And another example. When you're spending hours and on hours on the builds like this, you have a lot of junk that just you get a lot of stuff that is piled up in your inventory. It's crazy. Even if you're in creative, it just a bunch of stuff gets piled in your inventory because you're having to correct so much stuff. So yeah, there we go. And also you can go up here and there's bookshelves and stuff. Not much going on. You got Dr. Doom lights, and then you have the Christmas lights right here, basically where we just were. And that's Polar Peak. I'm really liking this new version. I almost say the Empire build might be my favorite, but this is probably like the second favorite. The first version was very jank, before I started getting to use the things of how building, it was cuckoo. Oh my god, we're actually starting to see the PS5 graphic. Like, I guess I mentioned before, I upgraded the PS5 finally, and man, the graphics, I've been geeking out about this. Like, I've been geeking out about this so much. The lighting, look at that. We didn't really have that much lighting in PS4. If you watch my, like, older videos, not only my older videos, but like even my more recent ones, you can see like how the lighting is a bit different, especially at night, because several times when I was building, the builds would just go totally dark. So something I've kind of done to basically change, especially I think it was this build, where I had to just like I decided just to make the interior from the roof up because it got so dark, and I was like, this is a fun new way of doing this. And truthfully, it was. It was actually a lot of fun, but like it was so cool because sometimes the light shines through the windows, and like the ray tracing, man, I love it. I love it. And also, Batman's eyes glow because he's Batman. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. But speaking of which, we got some stuff going on over here with the houses, which I'm gonna go over these two fairly quickly. These houses are mainly the same, besides that one. I'll get to that one in a bit. But over here you have this house, which is a pretty swag, pretty cool. Not much going on. I guess this house may belong to the person that works, like the guitarist of the band over there at the festival stage. So that's what they have guitars. They have like a little living room area. The Spider-Man! Because Jonah needs pictures of Spider-Man. Which, I finally finished Spider-Man 2. It was so worth avoiding spoilers for 2 years. I love it. I loved it. The one thing I did wish was probably like more symbiotes, but besides that, that's a minor complaint. I loved it. I loved avoiding spoilers for 2 years for that. That was so worth it. But over here, we got a little kitchen area, and then we have bookshelves and things. It's a lot cool, a lot of fun. It's cool stuff going on. Gotta love it. Over here, we have like more stuff going on. You got a little like house over here. This is the actual first build I made. This build was originally going to be a smaller house, but as I continued working on it, I was like, okay, let's try to incorporate some like depth designs into this, which it was kind of a struggle near the end of it, because as you see here, I couldn't really make it like a normal roof, but at the same time, I think it worked out near the end. Also, there's no top floor here, at least yet. I might have something there. Just like add like a little statue there or something, just like watching through the window, just staring at people. That would be funny. Okay, so going in here, you have a lovely house, and you have like a little share area, like a fireplace, you got a pool table, you got another kitchen area over here. You got a battle bus, and it kind of reminds me of Back to the Future, where they're watching like the TV, and it's like the scene where they're talking. If you know we're in the past, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, the bookshelves over here is pretty cool. Yeah, I actually really love this build. Like originally, I was kind of scared about this like interior over here, but it turned out really well. I actually really like it. Now over here, yeah, we can go to this house over here. I'm gonna save that one to the last because there's some story stuff going into it. The stairs right here I actually really like because it goes down in this effect here. Basically, look at the studs are covered with snow. I just it's a minor detail, but I like it. But also, I want to point out, look how good the lights are. Just take a second to take it in. Take it in. You're gonna love it. You're gonna like it, and you're gonna need it. Isn't that right? Okay, so, oh my God, he also glows. He glows in the dark! I am vengeance. Oh yeah, Peely's back. But, okay, so this house here is kind of like a log cabin. And it's Peely's house. Kind of gives, Logan vibes for some reason. So over here you got basically a similar layout of, like, from the other house, like kind of the hermit cabin, the loner cabin over there. But you got like a little ironing area, you got a fridge, you got some stuff going on, you got a sink too. So if you want to, you can probably wash your hands. You got some plants going on too. Guitars. You got a little more news of Spider-Man. Over here you got a room that kind of has a weird X-Men theme going on. Very peculiar, very interesting. Wonder what Peely's doing. But yeah, it's basically for this house. It's just basically the same interior, like kind of like a similar design as the house over there, but a bit larger scale actually. But now we're going to the final house of the video. Hip hip hooray! Meanwhile, God. So this house here was the second build I made for this video, and I had a lot of ideas for this. The interior, for one, was something that was a bit challenging, but I actually really like these flag designs at the front. I actually reused the flags over here, and some of you actually know about this build, and specifically before we go into this house, is that it relies a lot on the new angle feature that they added to Lego Fortnite, because I wanted to mess with it a bit, to see like what I could do. And sadly, I hope they change this one day, but you can only use angles on the ground. So if you're using something like, let's say, here, you can only use the 4 angles on actual build. But I hope one day they change it so you can add, like, more decoration to your interiors or something like that. Make it, like, a bit more cuckoo. And that's just, like, something I wish they had one day. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be, like, kind of like a, hopefully a simple change that they could do, but who knows. Who the heck's that? Over here you got, okay, off topic. So now let's head to the House of Wisdom, which is pretty cool. You gotta love it, and it's probably one of my favorite design techniques. So over here, it's basically like a lab. So if you watched, okay, if you haven't watched I think it serves part 7 of the original series. Yeah, it's part 7, right? Yeah, part 7. I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. Part 7 and part 6, no, part 8, part 7 and part 8 of the original Legacy and Fortnite series. You know that the Empire eventually took over Polar Peak. Basically, yada yada, they took over Polar Peak. And that's why the Ice King is lost now in this new world. And it seems like the Empire are probably not taking over it because I don't really want to do the same storyline twice. Wink. But over here we got some like log stuff going on, some factory stuff. And you got this little cool Christmas tree design because if you know in Lego Fortnite, you cannot get rid of trees. So basically, they regrow and they perpetuate on the builds. And I kind of took advantage of this to make it kind of like a Christmas tree. So you got a little presents going around. And someone got an Avengers comic. That's nice. So over here you got some lab stuff, like some Doctor Doom, some Raven stuff. Pretty interesting things. Pretty interesting. Going upstairs too, you got some more stuff in, ooh, Empire. Ooh, very interesting. Got Shocker, you got a little glider going on here, some lab tanks. Some very interesting, like, stuff going on here. You can computer screens, Imperial symbols. I actually really like this design. This was something I kind of thought. It was kind of like, if you know, like, those little factory catwalks. That's something I kind of And that's what was the idea that I made when I was making this. But yeah, very interesting. I wonder what's going on here. Also, you got little telescopes, so they're watching something. They're looking for something. But what? Hmm. So over here, yeah, it's pretty much the build in general. God. Is that what you're looking for? I don't know. I don't know what's in that supply drop, but that might be what they're looking for. Okay, I'm just gonna continue going like nothing happened. Uh, basically, after that, that's pretty much all the builds. As I mentioned before, this build relies a lot on the new angled feature, and as I really want to test it out, one of my favorite new features of this was probably this little like pathway here, because we don't really have roads or in Lego Fortnite or like custom roads that you can create, unless, well, I mean roads that you can make on your own. That's very simple, unless you're using actual pieces. And most of the time, they add up to your count, like a piece count pre-build, so sometimes it kind of limits what you can do. I know this for a fact, is I make a lot of like actual city builds in this series. Roads are fun. They take up most of the memory. But having stuff like this is kind of fun too. I don't know if this takes more like memory than the other thing, but it's pretty cool. I actually love the design of this though. It kind of gives like a nice little pathway, which I love making in games and stuff like that. Like specifically Minecraft. I think Minecraft's a good example of stuff where I build paths like this. But it's a lot of fun, pretty cool, and I think it kind of brings the build together in a way that if I just didn't have this here, it would kind of look a bit weird, if you know what I mean. Like I can just imagine it like not existing. I can just snap my fingers and not exist, and it just like be plain white snow everywhere, and it wouldn't feel as connected as if this was all here. And that's why it also brings these little designs together too, and just the seating and everything. It feels like a little nice like winter wonderland area, which I really like. And I think I did well on this. But yeah, that's a bit all for this video, for most part. But I'll be back probably again like we did before, probably later on down the line, as I'm thinking about adding like a little Sans workshop eventually over here, which I think would be cool. I just need to work out a design in my mind for that and just cool ideas, because I don't want to just jump into something like that, because I want to do it justice. I want to make like a cool little idea for that. But with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Um, I have a lot of ideas for a series. There's a cool idea for the next one. I already have ideas. Watch out for that one. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy, and if you did enjoy, please consider leaving a like and consider subscribing for more Lego Fortnite content just like this. And I hope you'll have a spectacular day, and more hopefully that you'll have an incredible holiday. With that being said, I'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone.